was only 15 years old when it happened, and I still can't forget it. We had to move. Something was wrong with our old house. My parents never explained the details, but it was serious enough to pack everything and leave. So we moved into an old, creaky house on the edge of town. It was big, too big, and too quiet. Something about it felt wrong. I didn't know what it was then, but I felt it in my chest like a warning. That very first night, something strange happened. It was around 8 p.m. My brothers were still awake, the TV was on, and the house buzzed with normal noise. Nothing spooky, nothing unusual. Until I walked past the kitchen and saw her, an old woman just standing there inside the kitchen, staring at me. Her eyes were wide, her lips were black, her skin was pale gray, like ash. She didn't move, didn't speak. She just looked at me. I froze. For a second, I thought she might be a neighbor, maybe someone visiting my mom. But the way she looked, her face didn't seem alive. Still, I said nothing. I didn't even greet her. I just turned away and went straight to my room, trying to pretend I hadn't seen anything. That night, I didn't tell anyone, not a word. The next morning came. Normal, nothing strange. I'd almost forgotten about her. Until the second night. It was late. Everyone had gone to bed. I woke up with a dry throat and went to the kitchen to get water. The house was silent, that kind of silence that presses against your ears. When I stepped into the kitchen, I stopped. She was there again, the same old woman. But this time, she was sitting on a chair, still, staring, unblinking. I couldn't move. I couldn't breathe. My body locked in place. Her eyes, they were empty, but somehow still watching. I managed to whisper, "What is this woman doing in our kitchen?" No answer. Just silence. I slowly backed away and then ran. I dove into bed and hid under the covers, heart pounding like it would explode. I didn't sleep again that night, and again the next morning I said nothing. We all busy arranged furniture. But the third night, that's when it got worse. I had gone out with my mom. We were walking home from the market, and the street was quiet and the air heavy as we passed a bench near the roadside. I glanced at it and stopped, and she was there, that same old woman sitting watching me, the same eyes, the same dead face staring into me like she knew me. I screamed, loud, terrified. "Mom, that's the old woman, that's the one I saw in our kitchen." Twice. My mom looked around, confused. "What old woman? What are you talking about?" I pointed. "There, she's right there." But my mom just stared at the empty bench. "There's no one there," she said. My blood turned to ice. My voice vanished. She pulled me away back to the house once we were home. She made me sit down. I told her everything. The first night, the second night, and now this. She listened in silence, her face growing pale. The next morning, she spoke to one of our neighbors. She told her what I'd seen, and the neighbor didn't even look surprised. She just nodded slowly and said, "Everyone here knows about her, that old woman. She used to live in your house. She died there years ago, but her spirit never left." My mom's face turned white. And then the neighbor added something that still haunts me to this day. "She doesn't hurt anyone, but in every family that moves into that house, only one person sees her." To this day, I was the only one who ever saw her. Not my brothers, not my parents, just me. We stayed in that house for a few more months. I never saw her again. But I always felt her watching from the kitchen corner, the hallway, the dark stairwell, waiting sometimes late at night. I still wonder why me. Why did she choose me to see her? And most of all, what would have happened if I had spoken to her? When I was 19, I moved into a small rental house near my university. It wasn't anything special, just 2 narrow bedrooms, old wooden floors, and creaky doors. It was cheap, and that's all I could afford. One thing was strange. One of the bedrooms was completely locked, and the landlord told me it was just for storage and not to worry about it. I didn't ask questions. I just needed a place to sleep and study. The first week was normal. I went to class, came home, ate, studied, and slept. The locked room was just there. I ignored it. But in the second week, I started hearing sounds from that room at night. It began with soft knocking. Not loud, not violent, just tap-tap like someone tapping with one finger. I thought maybe it was the pipes or the house settling. Then it got worse. One night around 2 a.m., I was lying in bed when I heard a loud scraping sound. Like furniture moving across the floor froze. Then came 3 sharp knocks, louder this time. I got up, grabbed a flashlight, and walked to the door. My heart was pounding. I put my hand on the doorknob, and I swear, I felt cold air blowing from underneath. Not a regular draft. It was icy and unnatural. I leaned in and listened. Silence. Then, just as I turned to walk away, I heard a whisper. It came from inside the room, and it said my name. I didn't sleep that night. I sat on the couch with the lights on until morning. The next day, I called the landlord and told him something was wrong. He didn't seem surprised, but he agreed to come over the next morning with the key. That night was the worst one yet. Around 3 a.m., I was jolted awake by a crashing noise. Like a huge bookshelf had fallen over. The floor actually shook. I ran to the door and shouted, "What do you want?" No answer, but I saw a shadow move under the door. That's when I grabbed a bag, packed some essentials, and walked out into the freezing night. I stayed with a friend until the landlord came. When we opened the door the next morning, the room was almost empty. Just one old rocking chair, facing the corner. The landlord's face went pale. He told me that years ago, a tenant disappeared. Last seen in that room, police never found anything. Eventually, they just locked it and left it alone. I moved out the next day. But even now, sometimes, when I lie awake at night, I still hear it. That whisper saying my name.